Well, a day after the twin blasts in Hyderabad, NDTV has learned that the terror alert sent out by the centre 2 days before the blast specifically mentioned Hyderabad as a possible target. Now, was that information ignored? Currently, the absence of CCTV footage is hampering investigations. Reports suggest the wires of a critical CCTV camera at the blast site may have been cut off 4 days ago. The Home Minister Shinde also visiting the blast sites this morning and confirming that the number of dead has now risen to 15, at least 119 others injured. The Dilsukhnagar area of Hyderabad is a crowded, busy place, and at 7 p.m. when the blast took place, it was extremely crowded. Two special teams set up by the Andhra Pradesh government are assisting the National Investigation Agency that has now taken over the probe. Eyewitnesses are being questioned and sketches of suspects being prepared. But critical questions now also being raised about intelligence alerts and whether specific warnings were ignored. It's also become the source of a great deal of political ruckus at the centre, both houses of parliament being adjourned till noon.
It was not a specific intelligence was given that a particular area it will happen. It was general alert was given for last about 2-3 days. We were giving general alert to whole of the country. I don't think police have failed. You see, it cannot be said at this moment. This moment, you see, one has to go into the details. If there was threat perception earlier, it will come in the investigation. It will be too early to talk on such lines.
All right, the Home Minister there responding to questions put to him by journalists earlier this morning about whether there had in fact been an intelligence failure or not. Let's go across now to our Strategic Affairs editor, Nitin Gokhale. Nitin, what is it that you're learning at this point about the kind of intelligence alert that was sent out? What was the information that was available? And can we in fact say something that the opposition is already taking up, that there were critical intelligence reports that were ignored?
Indeed, Ankita, what we have learned overnight, we have been speaking to various sources across intelligence agencies, police setups in various states. And what we have learned is about 48 hours before the blast, there was an intelligence alert sent out by the centre to various states. We are told about 10 states, but specifically mentioning the cities of Hyderabad, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Hubli in Karnataka, and some areas in Maharashtra and Gujarat is what the alert said 48 hours before the blast. It also said and warned the states and these cities that the possible reactivation of the Indian Mujahideen is now on the cards. There are a lot of activities that are going around of the Indian Mujahideen operatives. A lot of chatter has been picked up, and they may be involved. The operatives may be involved in targeting one of these cities or areas in Gujarat and Maharashtra. The other part of that alert was that possible revival or reactivation of the Lashkar-e-Toiba modules is also on the cards. Lashkar-e-Toiba, remember, had actually set up Indian Mujahideen as a proxy in India, and they themselves used to work here, the Lashkar-e-Toiba modules, in India for quite some time. So all these were sent out, the alerts were sent out, although it did not mention a specific area like Dilsukhnagar in Dilsukhnagar in Hyderabad. It did mention that Hyderabad would be a possible target. The question now that will be raised is, did the Hyderabad police act on the intelligence input that was received by it? And if it did, what were the measures that were taken which still didn't prevent those blasts from taking place? Because that area has been a target earlier, and therefore many more questions to be answered by both the centre as well as the state government. Back to you, Ankita.
All right, Nitin, thanks very much for that update. Let's go right across to Uma Sudhir joining us from Dilsukhnagar in Hyderabad. Uma, you was talking earlier of CCTV camera footage not being available, and perhaps this may in fact hamper investigations to a great deal.
Yes, Ankita, several questions that need to be answered about this CCTV as well as these locations. As Nitin was pointing out, Dilsukhnagar seems to have been, in a sense, on the radar of these terror groups in 2002, November 2002, just about 200 meters from here. A bomb went off on a scooter at the Sai Baba temple, the same Temple, where in fact yesterday evening, just about half hour before the blast, the Hyderabad Police Commissioner had gone on a private visit. There was movement of police in the area because of his visit. He does keep a low profile, but what some people are suspecting is that Sai Baba Temple may have been the planned target, but since there was this movement, there may have been a change of plan, and the explosive material may have been planted at this place where my camera has just now panned. As you can see, the impact on the vehicles that are standing there. A bomb squad person, expert belonging to the Hyderabad police, had also told us that what he believes is that about 1 kg of material may have been placed in that blast, but because there is no structural damage to the building standing nearby, that's one reason to believe that the amount of explosive material that was used was quite minimal. It was not too huge, and two, that probably ammonium nitrate, to which some other explosive material had been added, would have been used at this particular blast site. He also mentioned that perhaps all these material could have been procured locally as well. The similarity is also coming with the fact that the second blast happened just about 100 feet behind me, where the footover bridge is, and that is the location where the third unexploded bomb of August 2007 was found after the Lumbini and the Gokul Chat blast. This was a bomb that did not go off, and that's where it was recovered. So Dilsukhnagar seems to have been very much on the terror radar. Of course, earlier last year there were these reports about recce's by Indian Mujahideen in the Begum Bazaar area, another very crowded old area of Hyderabad, following which the task force personnel and several others had in fact patrolled and tried to sanitize that area. For several months there was a silence, but now with increased the increased alerts after the recent happenings, the hanging of Afzal Guru and others, there was an alert in Hyderabad as well. There was the police say that they were vigilant. They wanted to watch over several vulnerable areas that they thought were vulnerable, but whether specific intelligence in fact was available about Hyderabad and whether they took it lightly, that's a question that really needs to be answered, because a short while ago Mr. Chandrababu Naidu, TDP leader, was here, and he in very strong terms seemed to suggest that despite the intelligence from the centre, the state government had, the state police had taken it rather lightly.